All right. Hey, boys and girls. Good afternoon. I am actually recording from our classroom today, and this will be the last lesson for chapter 1. So we've got our first chapter in, which means after today, we'll spend a couple days reviewing and practicing for the test. And looking at my calendar, it looks like we'll have our test on Friday, and then we'll jump right into chapter 2 next Monday. So the essential question for today continues to be, how do you count by ones, fives, and tens and hundreds with numbers under 1,000? But also means numbers over 100 too. So we're going to look at some bigger numbers today and look at some number patterns. The first one on your listen and draw pages, you're going to write the missing numbers on the chart. And so I've kind of put in some of the numbers already. And one of the things that's tricky when you start with things that are over 100 is you just have to know that the pattern stays the same. So I made this little cover thing that if you started with 400, the next number would be 401. And notice how the 1 is at the end. 402, 403, 404, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and lastly 10. So similar to the hundreds chart, the 400s chart is almost the same, except on that first row, you have 4 in the hundreds column and a 0 in the tens column. So we have to think about our place value just a little bit as we go through with this. So let me do a couple with you. So you have to think about what comes after 411. Think about that 11. What comes after 11? It'd simply be 412. So the pattern is going to stay the same as when we use the hundreds chart, but now you're just using a 400 as a starting point. So I'm hoping you guys will find this pretty easy, and I like that they have some of the numbers plugged in for you already. The second part is counting can be done in different ways, and we can use patterns to help us count. So normally when you count by fives, you go 5, 10, 15, 20, and it's kind of a song. But what if you start at 95? Well, 95, 100, 105, and then let me move these reveal boxes out of the way. When I'm recording, sometimes the computer gets a little laggy. If I move the reveal boxes, it goes 95, 100, 105, 110, 115. But if you look at the end again, 5, 10, 15. So the next number in this pattern would be 120. I'm going to give my computer a chance to catch up. 120. And then 125. Sorry about my sloppy writing. I'm using my trackpad today. So if you look at the tens and the ones place, even though that 100 is in front, it does repeat the fives pattern again of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, but it leads with 110, 115, 120, 125. And that pattern will stay that way no matter if it's 100 or if you started with 400. Okay, so it's important to remember that those patterns stay the same. Same when you're using when you're counting by tens, even though this one starts at 300 and normally you go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Now you just have the 100 in front of that. So 310, 320, 10, 20, 30, but it's 330, 340. And again, the pattern stays true and it stays the same. Now, if you're looking at counting by fives with really big numbers, don't let it intimidate you and don't let it seem like it's super hard. Look at the last two numbers in this pattern. 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70. I know my fives pattern, and then I can just add in the hundreds. And as you practice with it, it'll become a little more natural. 745, 750, 755, 760, 765, 770, and on and on. And you could do the same with tens. 0, 10,